Alrighty, everybody. What is going on, y'all? Let me bring up my chat here on my other screen, and we'll be ready to go here. But I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Let me double check something real quickly, you guys. All right, let's see here. We'll bring this back up. All right, so hope everyone's doing well. Good to see ya. Let's see what we got here today. We have Carrot, we have Dylan, we have D, we have Calvin, we have Scott. What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing well. See, the amounts keep going up. On some models, yeah. Let's see here. Jeffrey says it's shifting south the Euro model. We're going to do a whole analysis here in a minute. So we'll look. What's up, Rose? Saying good afternoon. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Of course, no problem. What's up, Kaz? Good to see you. What's up, Max? Saying, what's the snow looking like for Knoxville? All right, so we're going to dive into models now. I know you guys are anxious to see kind of what we're looking at here. So let's work our way over here to Nashville to start, or not Nashville, Knoxville to start things off. So first off, we're looking at the Euro model right here. Now, according to Euro, there's really not a lot of snow out there by Knoxville area. It seems like a lot of it's going to be probably some freezing rain there. There's kind of a big gap here between the model. I'm not sure if it's just the model here that I have loaded up, or if it's the actual run itself. But you're probably going to see more ice than anything out there by Knoxville, according to Euro. Now, if we compare this with the American GFS here, honestly, GFS kind of has it starting maybe as snow, sleet, then ultimately ending up in freezing rain. You know, as we start to get more warm air starting to drive its way to the north here, which, you know, could really increase the lower level temperatures above freezing, just above the surface, you know, just to melt everything. And then, of course, once it gets to the surface, it's still frozen or still freezing temps out there, in which at that point, then it will refreeze and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's see here. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you. What's up, Toast? What's up, Donna? Let's see here. Rose says, my adopted sister in Nashville, I told her she needed to come home, and she said she's going to wait till tomorrow afternoon. So, yeah, the event's really starting here on tomorrow afternoon, essentially. But you said out there in where? Nashville? So Nashville, yeah, honestly, Nashville will really start getting those impacts here pretty much for Saturday morning. So, I mean, she should be fine, honestly. This is what the GFS shows, is that, you know, those impacts out by Nashville start to kind of approach here right around pretty early Saturday morning. Then we got the ECMWF here, which also kind of agrees. Actually, you know what? No, actually, Euro shows it starting kind of in the afternoon, evening of Saturday. So, all right, let's see here. What's up, Pink? Good to see you, my friend. What's up, Dylan? Saying, so winter storm warning is not right. Well, there's a lot of winter storm warnings, actually. Let's look at those real quickly. You can see there's a lot of warnings. It's just, there's so many warnings across the country right now. It's crazy. But we got Oklahoma, you know, in those winter storm warnings here. We got portions of Missouri, Texas, even going down to, you know, South Central Texas. Apparently Austin, Texas is in those as well, you know, because we're probably going to be seeing a bit of, you know, ice accumulations and stuff like that. So that is that. You know, those really extend. Those are some new ones here. Actually, we do have a lot of extreme cold warnings in effect too for like Arkansas. Yeah, it's gonna get pretty darn chilly out there as well. So, yeah, we definitely have a lot of those turning into in the warnings here. Got a winter storm watch. It's actually where I grew up here. I'm just checking real quickly. At least 5 inches of snow, 10 inches possible. There's a lot of disagreement still, believe it or not. Here, let's hop back to models, y'all. We're gonna do a bit more of a thing here. Let's see here. What's up, Donna? Hope you're doing well. How bad do I think that Wooster, Ohio? Let's see here. Let me pull up a Wooster. I always thought Wooster was kind of a funny name, like Wooster. I don't know. Anyway, so up there for you, you're definitely gonna get quite a bit, and you're probably just mostly gonna see snow. You're gonna be far enough north where you're going to be far away from that ice line, which will be good. Now, here's what we're going to do, actually. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my workflow here. Actually, I made a new one for you guys, or for us today, so we can look at the different models and their different accumulations. So we got 5 different panels. We got 3 up top, and we have 2 on the bottom here. So out there by Wooster, Let's see if we can't find Worcester. There it is, right there. So here's what the models kind of suggest for you in terms of totals. We got one that shows a half an inch, or 6/10 of an inch here, 3.7, 1.6, 2.7, and 2.9. So probably going to see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Oh, never mind. It wasn't fully loaded. Okay, I was going to say, it would seem a little low. No, here's your actual totals here. Yeah. Whenever loading it in, finally it shows it. 6.5, 8.1, 6.5, 9.3, and 9.3 as well. So I mean, you're probably going to be in for a good 4 to 8 inches, locally higher amounts possible. So you got a pretty good shot at seeing some pretty decent snow here. Now, if we zoom out, you can kind of see where the main snow track is, and it seems like GFS actually has shifted a little bit north here. When comparing to yesterday. It definitely looks like it has. Because remember, yesterday, GFS wanted like most of Tennessee here, which GFS is on the top left panel. But, GFS wanted most of Tennessee to be in like, a foot or more, But now you can see that that's starting to pull up to the north as kind of what the Euro was doing. But yeah, Euro still kind of agrees that, a lot of the heavy snow line will be up towards like northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, like southern Ohio, leading up into, the northeast and stuff like that. So... yeah. Dylan says a bust. It is definitely not a bust. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know about you, man, but that's a big storm. That's a big storm. All right, let's see here. Don, I appreciate it. Let's see. Rose says that makes me feel better. Good. I'm glad. Let's see here. Virginia just declared a state of emergency. Really? Goodness. Let's see. I says just tuning in. Here, so I'm curious on the updates for Strasburg. Might get Virginia. Gotcha. Let's pull up Strasburg. Let's see here. Winchester, South Winchester. Let's see if I can't find it. I know it's around there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Right there. Perfect. All right, so here's what the models look like. So according to GFS, you could see 14 inches. The Euro shows 12. The GDPS shows 9.3. The AIGFS shows 6.9. And the ECMWF AIFS, ignore that. The AIFS does show about 4 inches. So here's what we can actually do, and we're going to do a little bit of math for you guys here. So if we add up all those totals, we got 14 plus 12 plus 9.3 plus 6.9, and then we have plus 4.2. So that comes out with a total of 46.4. Now we divide that by how many models we're looking at, which is 5. And that brings us an average of 9.28 inches. So that sounds like a pretty good amount of snow. So yeah, definitely going to be quite a bit out there. So be sure to be ready for it. Let's see here. Rochi says, hey, Andrew, could I look at the models for DC/Maryland area? I'm hearing more sleet in the forecast and freezing rain. Yeah, it seems like more warmer air advection is becoming more common on the models here. Like, I was looking for my dad because he lives up here in Northern Virginia, and I was noticing those totals are really starting to change because it seems like we're going to have a bit of a warm layer in the lower atmosphere, which can melt some of the snow, turning it back into rain droplets. But given that the temperature is still going to be freezing on the surface and not in the lower atmosphere, then yeah, it'll still be freezing rain and such. So this is actually the model projections, for like the DC area. I mean, you can see these totals. Here's Baltimore for an example. I know it's a little bit tricky here. What I could probably do to make it look a little easier for you guys to see, let me go to edit layers. We'll just turn down this. We'll do 0.5. Oh, it's going to do this thing again here. I have to fix it. So we'll do 0.5. So that should calm it down a little bit to maybe where... Pull that up. I apologize for this. This program, great program. I absolutely love it. But it's got its few little bugs here and there. Here we go. Do that. All right, here we go. We'll do 0.5. Perfect. So that should maybe make it look a little bit better. I'm actually going to save that as well. We'll save that. Perfect. There we go. So now you can kind of see that maybe it looks a little bit better for you. But I mean, yeah, it's got to be a pretty decent amount of snow here out there. But it does seem like the ice is starting to become a little bit more common in the models there. So regardless, it's going to be very, very impactful. Let's see here. How much snow in Tulsa do I think? That's actually a good question. So Tulsa, let's head over here to Tulsa. So you guys could be in for quite a bit. It actually does seem like we have a pretty good amount of agreement. Where did I put my charger here? Let me look for my charger real fast. Uh, it's around here somewhere. I don't know what. Oh, it got unplugged. That's just lovely. Hold on one second. Let me plug this in real fast. But yeah, Tulsa actually is probably going to be getting a pretty good amount. Actually, from what it looks like in the models, it definitely seems like we're going to be in for quite a decent amount here. Here, let's hop on back. I got my charger here now. So let's go ahead and add these up here. So for Tulsa, the GFS wants about 11 inches. The Euro shows about 9.3. Let's see, 4.5 on Gem, 0.5, and then we have 11 on AI GFS, and we also have, let's see, 11 on AI Euro. So that equals 46.8. Divide that by 5 models, and so that gives an average of about 9.3, which is pretty good here. Oh my goodness, Rose, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for the support. Helps me out a ton. Saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are very welcome, my friend. I'm glad to help, and if there's any questions you might have, let me know. I'm trying to get to everybody, so it might take a minute, guys, because there's a lot of people in the chat. So I'm trying my best to hurry it up. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. The whole state of Georgia is in state of emergency. Are they? I'm sure a lot of them are starting to. A lot of the states are starting to do that. Let's see here. Alt says southwestern Pennsylvania. I guess you want me to look at southwest Pennsylvania? Gotcha. Yeah, you guys could be in for quite a bit. Actually, most models. Wow. You know, like Pittsburgh, for an example, you can see here. Like 9.8, 11, 8.5, 12, or sorry, 11, and then we have like 12, 13 on the AI GFS. Definitely quite a bit of snow. It seems like the models are starting to really kind of come to an agreement out there that there's likely going to be quite a heavy amount. Let's see here. Rose says my zip code is this. Just got another text message from the governor's office. Here, let me pull it up for you. Virginia Beach. Okay, that's right. All right, so let's look at Virginia Beach here. So we're going to look at snow here. It doesn't look like a lot of models really suggest much snow, as you can tell. Unfortunately, now that we have newer guidance and such, you can see that we do have, a couple of models showing maybe a couple inches, and we got others that show maybe a few tenths of an inch. Probably won't see much snow per se, but if we pull up the ice comparison between the GFS and the Euro. So the GFS is on the left panel and the Euro is on the right here. Honestly, it seems like there's not even going to be a whole lot according both to Euro and GFS, which is actually really interesting. So more than likely, you might just get like normal rain, because I know a lot of coastal areas, they can get that coastal interaction from the warmer waters around it, keeping the air temperature a little bit warmer. So yeah, I mean, honestly, the way it looks now, I definitely still want you to be weather aware and keep an eye on it, because I mean, there's definitely going to be quite a bit of ice nearby. Plus, there still is a little bit of uncertainty. I mean, you are actually under a winter storm watch here. If we take a look at this, you can see Virginia Beach area winter storm watch. They have, let's see, what do they say? Confidence is increasing of widespread snow, sleet, and freezing rain, but they don't really say any totals, do they? Yeah, there still is a little bit of uncertainty there. I'd still prepare for it. We'll keep an eye on it. I mean, obviously, there still is a little bit of a risk out there, so we'll definitely keep you in the loop with everything. All right, let's see here. Kaz says, any shifts from Memphis? Good question. So for Memphis, looks like not really. It looks like GFS still wants a lot of snow out by Memphis. We could see, the ice line being south of you, kind of southeast of you, according to the American model. Now, the Euro has you in, like, over 1.5 inches of freezing rain, which is ridiculous. Let me bring up our window again here for the snowfall comparison. Let's do this again. So, looking at Memphis totals, go ahead and play this down in time. Oop, hold up. We'll do that. Okay, so we'll go up here to Tuesday, Wednesday here. All right, so yeah, you can see, is this right? Yeah, I guess it is right. It shows like the model's pushing the snow a little bit further north, actually. So it's honestly kind of hard to tell if you're going to get a lot of ice or a lot of snow. I'd prepare for both personally. Like, looking at the model comparison right now, with the system from now until Monday, once the system works its way out, we have a model that shows 2.7, which is the GFS. We have a model that shows 0.1. We have a model that shows none. We have a model that shows 0.3. And then we have a model that shows 4.0. So there's obviously a lot of disagreement there for Memphis. That shows 7.1. Divide that by 5. So an average is about 1.5 inches there. But I'm still a little iffy on that. I'd prepare for heavy snow and heavy ice, definitely. Like right now, Memphis has a winter storm warning here. The National Weather Service has you in total snow and sleet accumulations between 3 and 9 inches, and ice accumulations around 0.2 of an inch. So it's going to be ranging a bit. Even that, I don't think is going to be like final by the time we actually get to where the event happens. Models are still kind of spread all over the place, as you can kind of tell. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Ashley says, "What is the latest snow totals for Springfield, Missouri?" Good question. So for Springfield. Here's what the latest models are suggesting, showing a pretty good amount actually out there for you guys. So if I was to do the average here, so Springfield has a model that shows 7.7, 6.5. We have one that shows 4.8. We have one that shows 9.3. And then we have one that shows 11 inches. So that totals 39.3. Divide that by 5 models. So you have an average of about 7.86 inches here. So, and then I'd range that 6 to 8 inches seems most likely, because you want to put a range on it. Honestly, you're more closer to 8 inches, so honestly probably like 7 to 9 inches or so, just somewhere in that range. I'd say honestly 6 to 10 seems more realistic. So pretty good amount regardless, absolutely. Let's see here. Dill says, "What about Belton, South Carolina? I heard lots of ice." Yes, so the Carolinas are going to likely see a lot of ice here. Let me bring up the ice accumulation chart here. So this is between the GFS and the Euro in terms of ice accumulation. So yeah, the Carolinas are definitely going to see a lot of ice. Now for Belton, let's see if I bring that up here. Figure out where Belton is. That's up in... Oh, that's bringing me to Texas. Hold up. Belton, South Carolina. Here we go. Okay, so you're on the western side. Yeah, so the GFS model shows you in, over an inch of ice here. And then the Euro shows you in a little bit less here. Trying to find you're actually right here, right? Right near Anderson? Yeah, so you're right next to Eric. There we go. So yeah, GFS shows about 1.5 inches of ice, and then you have the Euro, which has you nearly an inch or so. So yeah, definitely going to be an ice concern for sure. Now the current watch that's in effect here says that you could see significant ice. Let's see here. Between 0.3 and 0.75 of an inch possible. That's what they have you in terms of ice accumulation as of right now. So definitely is going to be a lot of ice, and those, if that continues, you'll likely get some ice storm warnings here pretty soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Let me see here. All right, so Daniel says, "How much snow for southeast Massachusetts?" Let me look. We'll pull up the accumulation chart here. So southeastern Massachusetts. So according to the models, we'll go ahead and bring these up here so you can kind of see. We got a pretty good amount of accumulation, actually. Let's see. So we have the GFS showing about maybe anywhere from 10 to 12 inches. Euro kind of showing the same. So that's already a pretty good amount of agreement there. Then you got the GEM, which shows, isolated totals of, over a foot or so. Honestly, you guys are looking about a foot. So you're probably going to be seeing a pretty good amount of snowfall. I mean, most models that you can see here, they're actually in pretty good agreement overall. So yeah, you're likely going to see some pretty heavy snow totals. Let's see here. Max says, "What about St. Louis? How much snow for St. Louis?" Let's take a look and see where St. Louis is at. So, all All right, so the way that the models are looking now, so you got GFS that shows about 5 inches, Euro shows about 6, Gem shows about 5. Let's see here, the AI GFS shows about 9, and then you got the AI Euro shows about 9 as well. So honestly, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches seems pretty likely. Yeah, there is definitely a decent amount of agreement out there. Let's see here. How about Lawrenceville, Georgia? How does Lawrenceville, Georgia look? Let me figure out where Lawrence. Let's see, Lawrenceville. Hold on. Lawrenceville, Georgia. Here we go. For some reason, it's not one to pull up here. Let me just copy your message here. That'll probably help the Lawrenceville. It's probably me just not spelling correctly, which is a really good likelihood. Here we go. All right, so you're up by north central Georgia. Gotcha. Okay, so out here, you're probably going to deal with probably more of a... Oh, you're right next to Atlanta. You're probably going to be dealing with more of a ice kind of concern here. You can obviously have the GFS still showing heavy snow out there pretty far to the south, but literally every other model you can see doesn't really agree with that. So you're likely going to be dealing with mostly a bunch of ice. Now, if we compare the ice between the GFS, you can kind of see there's a couple inches worth of rain and stuff like that, which, we could have some pretty heavy freezing rain accumulations out there. Like 4/10 of an inch is what it says possible right now for ice. And then, of course, you got the Euro that shows a little bit less ice, but still, that's a significant amount of ice concern there. So, yeah, definitely prepare for the ice. It's going to be a really big concern. Let's see here. Wish that warm air would stay soft. Yeah, that would make things a little bit better for snow. Let's see here. What's up, Randall? Good to see you. Say, what about Norfolk, Virginia? Thoughts, ice, snow? Let me pull you up here. Let's see what we're dealing with out there. So you're up. Oh, yeah. Actually, we just did that area up by Virginia Beach. So, honestly, those impacts out there where you're at is going to be a little bit unknown as of now. I don't think you're going to see much snow, according to from what the models are kind of suggesting as of like right now. Like if I bring up the snowfall accumulation map here, you can see. Well, that's GFS. This is, of course, the model. That's actually a second storm that we're not getting into right now. Pretty far out, anyways. But yeah, GFS only shows a couple of inches there. Then you got Euro here that shows not even an inch of snow. So you probably won't see much snow. But one thing we need to look out for, anyways, is ice, because it does seem like we could have a pretty decent amount of ice out there. Now, right now, you're actually under a winter storm watch from the National Weather Service, and they do say that confidence is increasing, but they don't say a total due to probably current uncertainty. But they're saying confidence is increasing, generally speaking, for ice and snow, not necessarily the totals. So, really can't tell you right now, to be honest with you, because they're still all over the place. All right, let's see here. Let me see here. Winter Storm Watch upgraded in St. Louis. Gotcha. You're welcome, Ashley. No problem. What is New England expecting? A lot of impacts, actually. Here, let me bring up the total snow accumulation map. There should be this guy right here. So for the Northeast, we're definitely going to be dealing with quite a bit. It really ranges depending on where you're at. But here's kind of a look at the totals. You can see here, according to these models, definitely quite a bit here. Like New York City, we definitely could be dealing with a pretty good amounts of snowfall. It really ranges. Some models show about a foot. Actually, most models, like GFS shows a foot. GFS AIFS shows it too. Same thing with Euro AIFS. But the European normal model shows maybe about a half a foot. And, the GEM GDPS kind of agrees with that as well. So, all right, let's see here. Let me scroll down here. What about Ashland City, Tennessee, says Jiggy. All right, let's look, see what we got going on here. Okay, so you're actually under a winter storm warning here. The National Weather Service has you in total total snow and sleet accumulations between 2 and 8 inches, ice accumulations up to 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, so I mean, given your area, Tennessee is kind of in a tricky spot right now. With the snow and the ice and stuff. I mean, you can see, these models they're kind of all over the place here. I mean, obviously GFS still showing a little bit further south than the majority of literally every other model here. Um, yeah, the way it's trending is you're probably going to get more ice than snow. The ice accumulations are going up while the snow accumulations are kind of going down here. So that's why it's between 2 and 8 inches. I mean, that's a pretty big range, honestly. And a lot of that range is due to uncertainty in the models, which we're seeing here. So just prepare for a lot of ice, a lot of snow. I would think that you'll probably see more ice than snow, to be honest, the way things are going right now. So, anyways, all right, how is Radford, Virginia looking? Let me look. Yeah, Virginia's starting to have a little bit less confidence here because of that dry air intrusion. Let me bring up Radford, though. Radford, Virginia. This is up in... Okay, this is out by Blacksburg area. Gotcha. All right, so Blacksburg area. Wish it would show the cities. There we go. All right, there's Roanoke, there's Blacksburg. Okay, so you're right in here. So... yeah, the really model that shows a significant amount of snow at this point is really the GFS. The other models show only a couple of inches worth of snowfall accumulation. Now, when it comes to the ice, you can see here, obviously we have Euro showing a lot of potential ice here. And then you got GFS, which is kind of a little bit iffy. Yeah, it's kind of weird what's going on here with the models. With the ice and the snow. Like I said, once again, GFS wanted further, more snow down, which is why you're not seeing much ice on this view here. But the Euro wants that ice line further up north. So, yeah. Anyways, let's see. Eddie says, great channel. If you ever get a chance, any info on Lillington, North Carolina, I believe it will be ice, but hoping for snow. Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment there. And let me look and see what you're in for, my friend. So you are out by... Yep, so you're kind of like east, pretty much central, east central. Yeah, unfortunately, the way it looks is that we're starting to get a lot more confidence on, warmer air in the lower atmosphere, kind of building up into the mid-Atlantic region, which is going to lower our snow totals and increase our ice totals. Yeah, you're right. It does look like there's going to be more of an ice concern out there. Now, for your specific region, out where you're at here in Lillington, so they actually have you in a winter storm watch, and they don't really say in this exactly how much you're going to be seeing here. I mean, they do have you in that winter storm watch for 4 days, but it doesn't really say accumulations unless I'm not seeing it here. But what I would do is I'd definitely prepare for heavy ice. I mean, this is probably going to be like an ice storm for your area. So just make sure you have everything ready to go. This goes for a lot of you guys. Like, make sure you have, generators working properly, fresh gas, fresh oil. Just make sure it's good enough, up to maintenance, essentially. Make sure you have enough food and water. Stuff like that would be really good. Anyways, let's see. What's up, Kim? Good to see ya. Hey, Andrew, it is freezing here in southern Scotland. I bet it is. It's pretty cold. Hope you're doing good, Kim. Good to see ya. Let's see. Rose says, got a question. Somebody told me that sap in a tree can freeze and explode. All right, temperature is 30 below. Yeah, so there is. I saw that the other day, too. There's a threat for exploding trees up in the northern part of the country, the northern plains, just because of like how cold it's going to get. It's crazy. Let's see here. Sky says, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, hearing different things. Will we be in for an ice storm? So for Charlotte, yeah, honestly, confidence is a little iffy for Charlotte. But yeah, you'll probably see a lot of ice. You're probably not going to see any snow out of this event, if any, very little amount. Right now, the watch has you in total sleet accumulations up to... Holy cow. I had to make sure I read that right. So it says total sleet accumulations up to 2 inches. Could you imagine 2 inches of sleet? So they have that for you in the forecast right now, as you can see. Total sleet accumulations up to 2 inches. Ice accumulation between 0.3 and 0.75 of an inch. Wow. Yeah. So you're likely going to be dealing with some significant ice concerns. I mean, sleet causes slick conditions too. Yeah, you definitely want to prepare for this one. This one looks pretty brutal out there by you. You're going to be in for some heavy ice. Doesn't look like much snow because of that warmer air in the lower atmosphere. Like I'll show you for an example. I explained this here yesterday, and kind of show you what's going on here. So if we hop back to the models, and we take a look kind of out, out that way. So let's just grab a little sounding right here, just to kind of show you what we got going on. So if I pull this up, whenever this loads here, I'll show you. But okay, so this is actually really good here. Let me bring up my pen so I can actually draw on the screen here, and kind of explain it. So we have this warm layer that's right here. There we go. So here's our freezing point, right? So this is our freezing point. So this is just a graph. I know it looks pretty scary. Just ignore everything else but this panel. So this is a graph showing us, here's the surface. So this is the ground level. And then as you go up in the graph, you go up in altitude. So the red line indicates your temperature at that selected altitude. And this is your freezing line. This is called, oh, shoot. It's not isobar, it's isotherms. So this is our isotherm of freezing, basically showing that all the freezing temperatures are over here, all the above freezing temps are here. So here's what we're looking at. So you can see at the ground level, the temperature is 23 degrees. So it's obviously well in freezing. But if you go up in altitude a little bit, you can actually see where the temperature breaks into the above freezing area. So that allows the snow that starts up here in the below freezing area to fall very, very slowly as snow. And once it hits this layer of the atmosphere, it's going to turn back into a water droplet. And then once it gets closer to the ground, it reaches freezing, and then it hits. And then it freezes as snow, freezes as freezing rain. So that's kind of what's going on, is we have this little warm pocket in the lower atmosphere that's going to be kind of building in. So anyways, hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Let's see. Liv says, you probably won't believe me, but there's most of the grocery stores here, part of Kentucky, look like they've been. Yeah, honestly, I saw a lot of posts from some close family and friends that were on Facebook that actually showed that there too. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's good though. I'm glad to see that people are preparing and making sure they have enough food and water and stuff. But it's pretty crazy. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna catch up with the chat. Sorry, I'm a little bit far behind. If I accidentally skip over your question, just repost it once. Don't spam it. Anyways, let's see here. Kelly says my zip code is this. All right, let me pull this up for you. Kelly, did I already look at yours? Whoops. I think we already looked at yours here. Let me double check. This was up by... Oh, no, this is up in Michigan. Never mind. I don't know why. Yeah, you guys up there in Michigan probably won't be getting a lot of the heavy stuff out of this particular event. Although you guys do have kind of your own little thing going on with a bunch of lake effect snow out there. So, absolutely. How's Augusta, Georgia looking? Assuming you meant Augusta. So Augusta... definitely could be in for a bit of accumulations with ice. Right now, you are under a winter storm watch. Let's see, sleet and ice accumulations may cause significant travel hazards. The totals are a little iffy right now for Augusta. You can kind of see you're on the bottom of it for the most part. So most of the ice will be to your north for the most part. But, I mean, we definitely could be dealing with a decent amount of ice, and definitely do need you to keep an eye on it. And, would keep an eye on it and prepare for it if you could. Anyways, let's see here. World says Baltimore afoot. Baltimore, Maryland. So, looking at totals up there by Baltimore, the totals have gone down a little bit since yesterday. For some reason, Euro's not wanting to load here. For some reason, unless that's because there's a new run or something coming through. Yeah, there we go. All right. So. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a foot at this point in time. I mean, Baltimore, there's a couple of models here, or really the only model is really the GFS that shows about a foot, but literally every other model shows like 5 inches or so. So, I don't think you're going to see quite that much. All right, let's see here. What about Mount Sterling, Ohio? Let me pull up Mount Sterling, which this is up here in... You're kind of just southwest of Columbus. Gotcha. Now you guys could get a decent amount, I think. Yeah, models they definitely do kind of agree on a bit. So we have GFS that kind of shows like 7 inches. Euro shows like 10 almost. Gem shows like 6, 7, inches or so. And then we have AI GFS, which shows like 11 inches, and then we have AI Euro that shows about 11 inches too. So I mean, yeah, you guys really could be dealing with a decent amount. Let's see here. Yo-Yo says, would you be able to give me your take on Clarkston, Georgia? Of course. By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. Helps us out a ton. So you're under a winter storm watch. It says total ice accumulations around 4/10 of an inch possible. That's a lot. That's a lot. Definitely do need you to be keeping an eye on it. Now, I don't think you're going to get any snow. Obviously, you're too far to the south to have any snow impacts here because of the warm air. But anyways, let's see. Free Thinking says, hey, Andrew, what about 31204? Did it change it? What are we getting ice? Let me pull this up. So you're up by Macon, Georgia. So honestly, Macon's not in any form of watch or anything right now. If we compare the ice accumulation maps, with the GFS and the Euro here. So if we go up by Macon, Bacon, you can see that according to the models, most of it, here, let's go back to the 06. Most of it's actually going to be north of you, according to the ice, or according to these models here with GFS and ECMWF showing a lot of that ice accumulation just to the north of you. You're not in any watch or warning right now, but I will definitely want you to still keep an eye on it. I mean, you're right on the border. I mean, it could shift a little south. I mean, we'll see what happens, but the trend right now is shifting further north, but we'll see what happens. I mean, definitely need you to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Sky says, thank you so much. No problem. You're very welcome. All right, let's see here. Milk is gone in Missouri. I bet it is a lot of places. Rose says, I just checked your merchandise page and it won't come up. But really? The merch page won't load? Let's pull it up here. Should load. Yeah, there it is. It works. I don't know. It's probably something on your end. All right, let's see. What is Jackson, New Hampshire going to see here? Let's pull up Jackson, New Hampshire. See what we got going on up here. New Hamster. I used to call it New Hamster. All right, so you're under a extreme cold warning because it's going to be pretty darn chilly out there. Now, with the accumulations, honestly, I think a lot of it's going to be relatively to your south, I believe. We have a little bit of a system coming through soon. No, actually, you know what? No, because we did get that northerly push. That's right. Okay, so right now, the way that models have you, let's see, you're up here kind of on the northern, so you're kind of right around in here. It really looks like the totals are kind of all over the place here. These are all 12 UTC. Let's go to 06 for that one. Yeah, so go through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I see it exits on Monday. Yeah, I mean, you definitely could see a decent amount. You got the GFS that shows you like in 4 inches or so because it has that lower track initially, but then you got like every other model it shows at least 9 to 11 inches or so. So really good amount of snowfall for sure from what it looks like. So do want to look out for that. Now the timing on that seems to be like right around Sunday. Sunday's gonna be the day for you because it's kind of towards the end of the event. All right, let's see here. Yo-Yo says, thank you, no problem. Let's see here. Fax, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate it. Saying, anyways, it'll miss you. Let's see here. Kansas, thank you, no problem. Let's see here. Let me pull up the zip code for you. Once again, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. All right, so you, my friend, are actually under a winter storm warning. Now, the Weather Service has you in for 6 to 9 inches of snowfall. So you're kind of right there by Kansas City area. So let's bring up the quad panel, or sorry, this is the ×5 panel. Do you guys know what's after quad? So it goes tri, then quad, then what's 5? Because that's what we're looking at here. Anyways, so you're up by Kansas City. Okay, so here's what the models are kind of showing now. So you're kind of, honestly, the models have most of that activity just south of you for the most part. You said are you out by Lawrence? Let's see, where was this again? Okay, so you're right. You're right near Lawrence. Okay, yeah, just slightly northeast of Lawrence. Gotcha. So yeah, according to these models here, a good 3 to 5 inches seems pretty likely. Just kind of given the um, just kind of given the average between these models here. So that's how much according to these models shows you as of right now. But the weather service, they have you in for 6 to 9 inches here. So according to the models here, it shows more like 3 to 5, but the weather service has 6 to 9 inches. So yeah, a good 4 to 8 inches seems quite possible. It's really hard to tell. I mean, there's so much disagreement still. A little bit better over here. For a lot of other areas, there's a lot of disagreement, but yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. JW says, what about Indiana? Well, let me look here. Let's look over here towards Indiana. So really, yeah, a lot of southern Indiana is going to have some of the heaviest accumulations here. I mean, it really depends on what part of Indiana you're in, because, I mean, northern Indiana probably won't see nearly as much as, like, southern Indiana will. I mean, southern Indiana could be in for probably up to a foot in some areas, while northern Indiana, probably, like, 2 to 4 inches, locally higher possible. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. It says page not found for you. That's weird, Rose. Roy says, just got here. Sorry if anyone already asked for the area, but the zip code. I got you, my friend. Here, let me pull it up for you. All right, so you are in Arkansas. Okay, so you're actually under a winter storm warning. Now, the Weather Service right now has you in for total snow and sleet accumulation between 4 and 10 inches across northern sections. Sleet snow accumulation is 1 to 4 inches over central section. So you, my friend, you are up in the northern section. So you would be, according to Weather Service right now, in about 4 to 10 inches, which is a pretty big range here. Honestly, I mean, I personally think it would not be impossible to have totals maybe even a little higher than that, to be honest with you. With the latest guidance here in the models, you can see, I mean, we have a pretty good chunk of, some heavy accumulations here. So I think we could be in for maybe a little bit more than that, but we'll just have to see how it plays out, essentially. Regardless, a lot of heavy snow is expected, and I do need you to prepare for it for sure. Yo-Yo says that you said that the trend is shifting north for ice. I thought it was shifting south according to the newest models, or is that just ice expanding? So that's actually what I was going off of. With the models, have they been trending further north? The ice is going north as well. Like areas in the mid-Atlantic here. Yesterday we were expecting a lot of snow, which, I mean, we still are in some spots, but it seems like more of an ice concern now, overall. So the ice is going up a bit further north from what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Matt says Oldham County, Kentucky, 40031. I used to live in LaGrange out there. I know that zip code very well. Wait, that's actually in LaGrange. Holy cow. That's probably why the zip code seems familiar. I'm just losing it. Anyways, so LaGrange is in for quite a bit. As of right now, not Hurricane Center, Weather Service has you in for, let's see. They have you right now at between 10 and 14 inches, which is quite a bit here. Let me pull it up on our model map here so we can kind of look. So here's LaGrange. So the way it looks, I mean, you're likely going to see at least a foot. I mean, the only model that shows sub 1 foot is the GDPS model, which you can see kind of shows about 8 inches or so. You're going to be in for quite a good one, I do believe so. Holy super chats. Oh my goodness. I just realized we just got a lot of donations and I wasn't looking. Thank you guys so much. Free thanking coming up to 5 here. Saying thank you, Andrew. Thanks for keeping us informed and taking our questions. You're very welcome. Thank you, free thanking. We have Daddy Crab with the 2 saying good to see you back doing coverage. Thank you, man. It's good to see you again. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. And we have Froggy with a 5. Thank you guys so much. But Froggy, thanks for the 5, saying, have I done Nashville, Tennessee? Sorry, I've missed it. Yeah, we have, but I can look at it again for you. No problem. Seriously, guys, thank you all so much for the donations. It really helps me out a ton. So for Nashville, models are still a little iffy here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do something a little bit special. I was doing this a little bit earlier, but just a little bit something special just because you really helped us out with the donation and stuff. So I appreciate it. So for Nashville, we have, according to GFS, we have about 8.1 inches out by Nashville. Then you got Euro, which shows like 0.3. Then we have Jim shows like 1 inch here. So I'm adding all these up. Oh, hold on a minute. For some reason it cut out here. All right, so we have 8.1 plus 0.3. So I'm kind of averaging all these out right now. Plus 1.0, plus 1.3, and then plus 1.8. So that equals that. We'll divide it by 5. So it gives you an average of about 2.5 inches. Really, the GFS wants you to have a lot more. I think you're going to be dealing with a bit more ice rather than snow here from the way that it looks at the current moment. You can see, once again, the GFS is the left panel. This is the one model that showed you with a lot more snowfall than ice. But majority of models kind of look like the right panel with the Euro here. So you're more than likely going to be dealing with a lot more of an ice concern. Now, here's what the Weather Service has to say about that. Now, they do say that total snow and sleet accumulations up to 2 to 8 inches, quite a large range. But look at this. They say ice accumulations up to 1/4 of an inch as of right now. So definitely going to be quite impactful regardless. And we do need you to be weather aware and keep a close eye out there for it. But once again, thank you so much for the donations. It's really appreciated, you guys. Really, really, really appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Bruce, I got you, my friend. Let's pull you up and see what we're doing with here. So you're up in Oklahoma. You're up in the northern side. So you're actually under a winter storm warning. You're going to be in for quite a bit. So right now they have you upwards of 6 to 12 inches is what they have on you right now. But if I bring up my chart here, we'll bring up the latest models and we'll look at see what they show. So you're up by Bartlesville area. So you, my friend, are... So this is what the 5 model panel looks like for right now. So you have GFS that shows kind of about 7 inches. You have the Euro showing about 12. GEM GDPS showing about 3-4 inches. Then we have AI GFS about 8. Then we have AI Euro about 9 or 10. So yeah, I mean you're gonna be in for a pretty good amount. It seems like the range that they have on there is pretty accurate from what the models are kind of showing right now. So definitely could be quite a bit. All right, Savage, I got you, my friend. Let's pull up yours here. Let's see if it'll let me scroll up here. All right, so you, my friend, you're up in 334. So all right, so you're up by Atlanta. So right now we are under a winter storm watch. You're going to get only ice. The snow's going to be well to your north. Total ice accumulations around 4/10 of an inch possible. That is a lot of ice. So definitely need you to prepare for ice storm conditions. Be sure you have plenty enough food and water to last you a while, and make sure if you have a generator, make sure it gets up to maintenance and stuff. You're welcome, Roy. No problem. Donna says, "How is Tullahoma?" I think I said that right. Tullahoma, Tennessee, looking. All right. Let me look and see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so you, my friend, are under a winter storm warning. They say heavy mixed precipitation expected. Total snow and sleet accumulations between 2 and 8 inches. Ice accumulations up to 1/4 of an inch. So, yeah, that's the thing about Tennessee. There still is a bit of disagreement, but it seems like more ice is likely at this point as comparing to yesterday. The models have shifted a little further north, but you still got GFS, which is being a little stubborn here. But yeah, honestly, I would expect a lot of ice and snow potential. Regardless, you need to keep a close eye out for it. All right, let's see here. Bruce wants me to take a look here at the zip code. I got you. Let me pull this up real quickly. So you, my friend, oh, this is Bartlesville. I think we just did that one. That's right, we just did the area, Bruce. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Cousin Jimmy says, "Am I being dense here? I'm getting Pennsylvania blizzard of 1996 vibes off this storm." I don't remember that storm exactly. I remember the because I wasn't around. I was negative. I've been -8 years old. But yeah, I don't really remember much of that storm because I wasn't alive at the time. But yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one for sure. World, I already did your thing. By the way, you said Baltimore over a foot. So we talked about that earlier. I don't know if you were there whenever you asked, but we definitely are not expecting about a foot. We're not expecting a foot of snow. We have the GFS that does, but that's the lowest model. That's the model that hangs lower to the south. Putting that heavy snow over you. More than likely, you'll probably see a lot less than that. Now, right now, the National Weather Service has you showing at least 5 to 10 inches possible. So, anyways, let's see. Froggy says, thank you so very, very much for making us feel safe. Glad I went to the store already. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for the support once again. All right, let's see here. Donna says, thank you very much. Y'all remember to hit that like and share and subscribe. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Cousin Jimmy says, oh my, I forgot how young you are. In 1996, blizzard dropped 20 plus inches, West Virginia, Maine. Wow. That's crazy. That kind of reminds me of the 1 week that I had, because I grew up in Prince William County, Northern Virginia. So, we actually had 2 big snowstorms. We had one in 2010. They called it Snowmageddon. A lot of people in the Mid-Atlantic would remember this one. It dropped about 2 feet from what I remember about by me. And then in 2016, we had another really big one. I think that one dropped like 2 to 3 feet worth of snow. I mean, they're really big ones. But yeah, I mean, mostly we're not going to be seeing, nearly 3 feet. We're not anywhere near 3 feet out of any area here at the storm here, but we do have quite a bit of some heavy snow. I mean, some models suggest, over a foot and a half in some areas here, possibly. So, anyways, MMD says, what about Southern Illinois? So, Southern Illinois here could be in for a decent amount. You guys are kind of in where a lot of the models do show the heaviest, kind of approaching. I mean, some areas could get near a foot, actually, in southern Illinois. Now, right now, on the very southern side of Illinois, right now it shows 8 to 13 inches, according to the National Weather Service winter storm warning they have there. So, Calvin says, did the storm system shift north, putting ice threat away from Houston, Texas, where I live? So Houston right now does have a winter storm watch, and the National Weather Service says ice accumulations between 1 and 3/10 of an inch are possible. So the threat still remains out there. Now, if we pull up the ice accumulation map here between the Euro and the GFS, you can see, so GFS is on the bottom, the left panel here, and the Euro's on the right panel. So Euro doesn't really show a whole lot of ice out by you. It keeps the coast keeping you a little bit warmer. Because like I said, the water influence can keep the air near the coast actually a little bit warmer. That's what the Euro suggests, but the GFS here shows maybe a little bit of ice. Regardless, it's safe to just keep an eye on it overall. So, anyways, let's see. 1993 was bad, was it? See, last night Nam was showing a foot of sleet. What? A foot of sleet? I mean, Nam, I know Nam's crazy, but is Nam really that crazy? Goodness. A foot of sleet would be wild, dude. I mean, I could imagine an inch of sleet. I mean, even that's just a sheet of ice. I mean, sleet gets slick too. It eventually just freezes into one plate of little pellets. Let's see here. I heard there'll be another chance for some snow in the south again next weekend. Maybe. I was actually looking at that. Here, I'll pull up the precipitation type comparison here between the models. So I was looking at that. It's a little bit far out, though. So here's the main system. This is the one we're dealing with right now, right? So we go further down in time. Let's see, which models was showing it? It was the GFS that really showed another storm here. There you go. Yeah, but you can see there's really not a lot of talk about it, though, in the other models. Here, we'll pull back up to 0.6 on the Euro here. So we can get all their opinions here. So yeah, there's the main storm, and then, of course, coming up... Well, it doesn't want to load now, for some reason. It's just too early to tell, really. But obviously, if something happens, we'll let you know. Kim says a young adult saying 1996 he was -8 is crazy. I feel so old now. I was born in 2002, so I'm gonna be 24 in April, which I'm getting old. So I don't want to be 24. I think I caught up with the chat. Holy cow, dude! Oh my goodness, can take a breather for a second. No, but I'm glad to help you guys out. Like I said, if y'all have any comments or any questions, really, just let me know in the chat. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out here. Like I said, you guys can really see where a lot of these warnings are at. I mean, it's just all over the place. It's so hard to even see the United States with all these warnings that are out right now. We got extreme cold warnings up in effect for the northern parts of the country because we're getting that really cold air mass that's going to make everything all cold. We already got a whole lot of winter storm warnings and stuff here. So definitely got to keep an eye out there for those two. I know it looks like there's some ice storm warnings because they're usually in purple, but it's just because there's an extreme cold warning for there and winter storm warning too. But anyways, but yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date. We'll keep on giving y'all some content. We're going to go live again later tonight, too. Just remember, y'all. So we'll have more models and stuff like that out tonight. I'll probably go live maybe around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So I'll be there to help you guys out once again. But like I said, guys, if y'all could do me a favor, and if you guys could maybe consider subscribing. Like I said, it's free. Just hit the subscribe button. And, of course, maybe leave a like and share. It'll really help out the channel. It kind of helps spread the word, and it could be life-saving information to some people. So, let's see. Brady says, "Hey Andrew, you're young. I'll be 48 in March." That's not bad. I love how I say I'm old, but then whenever I say there's an age above me, I say it's young. It's true though. I mean, if you think about it, 48's not that old. It just feels old to me because it just feels like I was a kid yesterday, honestly. But anyways, y'all, like I said, got any questions, let me know. I'm here for you. Now that chat's quieted down a little bit, it'll make it easier for me to go through a lot more quicker. Graduated in 97, gotcha. I graduated in 2020. That's when I graduated, yeah. I remember it's during COVID and stuff. All right, let's see here. 239 says, what about Smithville, Tennessee? Let me see. Let me see about Tennessee. See what I did there? All right. Anyways, so we got a winter storm warning, my friend. You are in for... So this is from the Weather Service. They actually have you in 2 to 8 inches. And ice accumulations up to a 1/4 inch. That makes sense because, like I said, a lot of the latest guidance here with the models shows that we'll likely be seeing more ice than snow now. The only model that really shows a lot of snow for you still is the GFS, which GFS is still being really stubborn and keeping things a little bit further south than what most of the other models we've been looking at actually suggests. So there's obviously still a bit of disagreement there, but still got to prepare for it. We're likely going to see a lot of heavy ice and some snow, and probably more ice than snow. But anyways, hopefully that helps out, my friend. Hopefully it does. But anyways. Oh, there we go. That was weird. I just had a whole chat wall just load in for a second. There we go. Anyways, let's see here. Calvin says, I'd rather have warm winter than instead of cold. Oh, I agree. 100%. This cold is a little too much. Brady says, I still don't know in Idaho, weird winter. Is it? Yeah, we don't really... I mean, I covered those areas, but we don't really talk about them that much, honestly. It seems like we mostly talk about a lot of the central eastern country, mostly. Let's see here. What kind of liquid to snow ratio can we expect here for southern Illinois? So given you guys are going to be in a lot of cold air, I'd recommend probably using probably the Kashira ratio. The 10-to-1 is good for wet snow that I've noticed, and the Kashira is good for like dry powdery snow. And given that some of these areas are going to be like ridiculously cold, the snow that they do get will be like a lot of powder, especially up on the northern parts of the storm. Probably be more of a powdery, fluffy snow. Then you got like the more southern areas, closer to the ice snow line that's a little bit more wet. So that would probably be better for a 10-to-1 ratio. Anyways, what's up, Vienna? Saying good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Still don't have snow in Scotland, but it's absolutely freezing. I've heard that Scotland is pretty nice. I've always wanted to go out there. I've never left the U.S. in my entire life so far. Let's see here. Doug, thanks for subscribing, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I just want to say, everybody, once again, thank you for all the kind love and support lately. You guys are amazing. Like I said, I love you guys. Just gonna be here to keep you guys up to date with everything. We'll be here up until the event, and of course, we'll be here during the event too. We'll do some coverage. Actually, we'll be doing a lot of coverage, probably Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll probably just be doing a lot more updates on like totals and stuff. But coming to Saturday, Sunday, we'll probably do a lot more coverage, which we'll still be talking about accumulations and stuff then. But we'll also be doing like live cameras and stuff like that, so we'll be able to actually see everything happening in real time. So absolutely. So we'll be there for you guys. But anyways, folks, here, well, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Probably going to head off here pretty soon. We've been live here we just hit an hour being live. So typically do about an hour update for you guys with everything. And whenever it comes to this evening, like I said, we'll probably go live right around 9 o'clock p.m. or so. So we'll be live here for 9 Eastern, which will be 8 Central. So we'll be back for you guys for another update here. We'll do another live stream like this one. I'll probably post a couple of YouTube shorts before the stream, though, so look out for that. I'll probably be giving you guys some updates and stuff. But anyways, folks, well, if you guys have any final questions before I roll off here, be sure to let me know. And once again, everybody, thank you all for joining. And for the people who have directly supported us, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout-out to our donators here for today. Just a big shout out goes to Rose, Fax, Free Thinking, Daddy Crab, and Froggy. Thank you guys once again. I'm going to go ahead and heart all of y'all's super chats for the support that you guys have given me. So thank you guys, seriously. And thank you, everybody, for just hanging out with us and for joining. Once again, if you're new here, consider subscribing, maybe leaving a like. It'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. Let's see if you remember, if you go to Scotland, we drive on the left. Okay. What's up, Frankie? Good to see you, man. See, Shire says, I'm supposed to drive to Galveston from Tyler, Texas Saturday. Is it possible? Ooh. I wouldn't recommend it personally. Because you're probably going to be traveling through a bunch of ice. I would not recommend it personally. Here, let me pull up Galveston. Galveston's further up north, right? Galveston, Texas. No, that's right. Galveston. Oh, that's right. It's right by the bay there. Galveston Bay. See, the thing is that Galveston you should be fine, but once you get to Tyler, Texas, that's where issues start to arise. Like right now, Tyler, Texas does have a winter storm warning, and they have total snow and sleet accumulations up to 4 inches. Ice accumulations between 1/3 of an inch to 1 inch. Wow. Here, let me pull that up. There you go. So you can see that. Look at this. So ice accumulations between 1/3 of an inch to 1 inch possible. Goodness. Yeah, I would not go out, my friend. It's not worth it. That's way, 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 way too dangerous to be traveling in. So, anyways, how often do historic winter storms happen? It's kind of random, honestly. I mean, every once in a while you do get, some that come through which are pretty crazy. But they're never like exactly the same length between one another. Just nature being nature, randomized. Donna says, thank you. No problem. You're very welcome. Frankie says, what about Alta Vista, Virginia? Got you, my friend. Let's pull that up for you. All right, so I know you're in Florida, you said, right? So this must be a family member or something. So they're in a winter storm watch here. Let's see. Did they say any? Say mainly snow and possibly sleet along US 460 is sleet. Okay. So for this area particularly, the way the models suggest it is a lot of it turning into ice. So they need to prepare for a lot of ice and snow. The exact snow to ice ratio right now is still a little staticky because the models still don't really agree on that. But the way the latest trend is showing is that there's probably going to be more ice out there than snow. That's kind of the new thing here. So I would expect more ice out there than snow, which ice obviously is way more impactful. Is it supposed to get warmer in the mid west? It's too cold. Not anytime soon. It looks like it's gonna be cold for a while. Have the snow totals escalated in the last few hours for the Baltimore area? No, they've actually gone down a bit due to the storm's northerly push from some of the models here. Like, it seems like more warmer air intrusion is going to be occurring up by the mid-Atlantic, allowing for the warm layer in the lower atmosphere to warm up. And, of course, what would be snow falling would eventually melt in the water droplets and then freeze upon contact with the ground. So more than likely, those are going down essentially right now. All right, let's see. Thank you, friend that lives in Virginia. Gotcha. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm going to roll off here for now. Like I said, we'll be back later on tonight. We'll be back live at right around, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So we'll be back there at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, so I hope to see you guys there. But anyways, let's see, Raider says, what does the snow/ice timing for, Midford, Delaware? Thanks for the help. No problem. I got you. Real quick, before I roll off here. So for Delaware, we're going to be seeing a lot of the Northeast just in general. The storm kind of rolling through. Pretty much here. Actually, we'll go down a little bit. So Delaware being further towards the mid-Atlantic. So we're pretty much going to be seeing it here for Saturday going into Sunday for the most part. Mostly kind of later Saturday. The timing's still a little iffy, you can see on the models here. But pretty much mid to later Saturday going into Sunday is when that's going to really start to kick off there. But then the ice will likely start to approach here probably sometime in the afternoon of Sunday. It's kind of a Saturday-Sunday event for you. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. But, we're going to roll off for now. Like I said, just thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys here later on tonight, like I said, at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central. But we'll be back then. And like I said, we'll probably put out a couple YouTube shorts as well before the next live. So, but all right, everybody, thanks so much for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.